John, will you do the honors and report what happened last Tuesday? Wednesday? I don't know
I don't
when.
know what the town meeting.
Yes.
Oh, um,
Public hearing. That's what we called it. That's
oh,
official
yeah.
words.
Public hearing, probably around 14 people, including the selectmen. Um, the people that were there were all very supportive of our efforts to seek high-speed broadband for the community. Some questions, good questions. A lot of it was from the residents who voiced their concern about the lack of high-speed internet, anything from the remote learning for the kids. That was a big deal. Um, and also working remotely from home. I think those were the two biggest issues concerning the need for high-speed internet. There was concern about obligating ourselves to one ISP. Scott did a wonderful job explaining what our efforts were, explaining what our conversations were with the different ISPs, and why we are leaning towards Matrix at this point, based upon our research. One of the things that I think was at the tail end of the conversation was there doesn't seem to be any big rush or effort to get anything done right now because the obligation or the awarding period from MCA has gone past. And I'm not sure if the selectmen understand that there's also USDA grant money that doesn't seem to have any type of specific period for allocation. So that was something that I was going to bring up during this meeting, that USDA grants are still out there to be had, and maybe that's something that that we can pursue through Matrix, who has voiced that they have experience with the USDA. So maybe that can get us started. But at this point, we're waiting for a town meeting so we can vote on basically what hopefully will be two items. Does the town support us in our efforts to seek high-speed broadband? And if the answer is yes, then we'll explain to the town why we are leaning towards Matrix based upon our interactions with the ISPs. And if they think that the ISP that we select or are recommending is favorable to them, then the select board will have in their mind the authority to sign the letter of support with Matrix to pursue the next round of grants. And at that point, we went home.
Oh, correct. Good. Yeah, good job, John. Excellent summary. So it was very positive. There were a couple of people that were kind of concerned that there was a broadband committee to select board opposition when basically the meeting showed that there wasn't. One of the Scott McNichol actually said, or a couple of the selectmen actually asked or expressed some concern about Matrix being an outsider. We don't know who they are. And I guess I don't know the history, but years ago, Perry has had some trouble in the past with outside organizations. And so that's why they're afraid, where I guess an organization had made all these promises and they didn't follow through, and it left Perry in a problem. And so that was prior select board. But that helped us understand their position of caution. And so, but Scott McNichol actually did say, we're very confident in the work that the broadband committee has done to this point. And if they feel that Matrix is the right ISP, they don't need to do themselves any type of due diligence. They're going to accept the work that we've already done and move forward with that. And so our proposal, John and mine, was that when this meeting happens, which right now is tentative for the 14th of November, I'm personally sending an email out today to invite Matrix personally to be here to share what they would offer to Perry instead of us. We'll spend a few minutes with the town explaining these are all the ISPs that we interviewed and did our due diligence with. Out of all of them, we personally prefer Matrix Design Group. And now we're going to turn some time over to Matrix to share what their plan would be for Perry, and then let the town vote from that. And so the way that Anne suggested 2 warrant articles. One, just like John said, that would be for the town to vote on whether we're going to pursue broadband. And then in the same meeting, a second warrant article of them voting for Matrix Design Group to be our ISP and to go ahead and pursue grant funding. And we can talk all about the grant funding of USDA versus Bean and all that other stuff. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So very good. It was a very good meeting.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, the
Go ahead.
incident that Scott mentioned there years ago that has caused the selectmen to be a little leery. It was the LNG proposal. And it really, I mean, I was here, and it really did no comparison, because the people that were concerned about the LNG was environmental. The town basically wasn't going to gain anything other than, you know, maybe a few jobs. So it was, you know, probably a 50-50 split, but it was controversial. A lot more drama going on with that issue than what's going on now. Yeah. And there's no one said anything negative about, you know, high-speed internet and so forth. You know, years ago, I remember people being concerned that if there was internet, then that would increase their property taxes. But that's faded away, because again, internet is considered a utility. It's no different than electricity. So that theory has gone by. So very supportive and interested. So the LNG issue was ugly.
It was very
This
ugly.
doesn't have any.
It was
Yeah.
very ugly. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was, yeah. God, it was like reading the Quaddy Tides. Was like you just open it and I swear flames came out of it from all the letters to the editor. People telling each other to, I mean, yeah, it was bad. Yeah, John's right. It was bad.
It got personal.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Yes, yes. Very incendiary letters to the editor and neighbor, you know, fighting with them. It was bad. It was bad, Scott. So here's the thing, is that Matrix, this may work out well for a variety of reasons. With the Western Washington County build, I have asked Matrix if they would meet with the communities again. I had suggested Zoom, just because they're so far away and they were just here. So, but maybe because they're going to bring a kiosk like they did in Eastport. Have you gone by Eastport City Hall and checked out the kiosk? I think it's there.
No.
Well, I'm going down to vote this morning and I'll see if it's there, because I want to see what the it's a little survey, like, you know, if you had the chance to switch to fiber, would you, and that sort of stuff. So so at that point, I mean, they could, even with permission of the select board, even bring a kiosk with them for Perry. It just, you know, they plug in, and because they want to know before, because they need to do their due diligence as well. If you think about how much money and time and resources go into this, no one wants to build out just to find nobody's going to switch, because that would stink.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they could do it, but based on the timing and the efforts of this next meeting, the town will have already voted at that moment. Or actually, so the meeting will happen, I think it's let me look at the dates. I want to say that it's going out, the announcement's going out in the Quaddy Tides on the 10th. The meeting is Monday the 13th of November, and then they'll actually return on the 15th for a vote. So the public hearing is the 13th, the vote is on the 15th, if I understand the dates correctly.
And the other reason why that might tie in well too is that if for any reason, since they were going to be here, I know that Eastport City Council, I believe, meets on right in that time frame, 14th, 15th, somewhere in there. And Sabag seems to be on board, just watching what's going on with the communities in between, but seem to be, my understanding is that they're still kind of just watching and waiting and interested in Matrix as well. So there's an awful lot of reason for them to come here. So if Scott, if you reach out to them, you know, maybe you could mention things like it would tie in well with meeting with the Western Washington County region again, you know, that sort of thing, so that they have multiple reasons to come. But I think that would be awesome. If they can't, do you have Zoom capabilities where they could Zoom into a meeting?
I don't know if we have that kind of internet at the, well, I don't know. It's just the town hearing would be at the school, so that would probably have enough internet
Yeah,
for that.
it would. Yep. Just if all else, but and remember too that Chris Waite did offer to go and speak from the whole technical side if you guys want that, you know. He did
Okay.
offer. I didn't invite him this morning because I forgot. I invited him to esports, but I forgot to invite him to this one. Anyway, yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. And like I said this morning, I'm headed down to City Hall, so I'm gonna, the kiosk I believe is there. It should be there, and so I'm gonna go do that when I vote and license my dogs. So yeah, so at least I'll know what it's about and blah blah blah. I can report back to you guys because you the matrix comes up with like a basic survey sort of thing, and for the kiosk, but you can alter it to fit your community. Like when they showed me one for the Western Washington County one, I was like, oh, we don't have Xfinity here. We don't even know what it is. So remove Xfinity and, you know, remove this and remove that because we don't even have that. So, so just customize more to Perry. And that's awesome, being that, you know, that the concerns are working and learning remotely, which is really what your survey was showing. That those were big concerns on people's minds, working and learning remotely. And so, yeah, to definitely punch that up, that's awesome. That's just weeks away, guys.
It is, yeah.
And we haven't even scratched the surface as far as explaining to the community the telemedicine aspect, the recreational aspect of having faster internet.
The safety with the interconnectivity of fire department and
Yeah.
the town deployment, you know, snow plows, all that other stuff. I mean, they can, right now it's all radio and scanners and stuff like that. And Matrix has the smart city application that will tie everything in to make their lives a whole lot easier, which will improve response times. It'll do so much for the town if they want to have those additional options.
In Perry, of course, most communities here, I think all communities by and large are mutual responders, but a lot of Perry and Sabaic and Eastport tend to respond to each other's stuff because we're all so close to each other. So that would also, you know, extend into mutual aid as well. So sure. That's, yep. Yeah, no, there's a lot, there is absolutely a lot there. Yeah, and going to be a whole lot more coming. This is exciting. How many clocks do you have? John, are you, and do they all read the exact same time?
They do, yeah. We went to England a couple of weeks ago, and so we had one of them set for London time so that my son would know what time it was when mom and dad were.
Yeah.
So we did not take the kids. No.
Good for you.
23rd anniversary and my wife's birthday. So, yeah.
Grown up trip. Nice.
Exactly.
I like it.
Well, that's what we have to report for today. Like I said, the meeting went really well. We felt we've got another meeting coming up. I'll touch base with the select board, make sure everything is 100% going through. Oh, I guess, well, we said it would be in the Quotey Tides, but what, I forget her name. Who was it that was there from the Quotey Tides, John?
I
Someone-
think it was Miss Tides. Her first name was Kawadi. Miss Kawadi Tides. I don't know.
I
Was
don't
it-
know if you caught her name.
Was it
I-
Laura? Was it Laura Whalen
Good luck.
or Laura? No. Oh well, you'll find
She
out.
had brown
anyway.
hair,
She had
and
brown
she
hair.
had a pad of paper with her taking notes.
Well, that would be Miss Quaddy Tides.
Yeah.
See?
There you go. What I said. And oh, by the way, Scott, thank you. You made my trip to Bangor with my wife really seem insignificant with the England trip. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I do Bangor all the time, so I mean, it's great.
Yeah, but you
Howard Johnson, you know, they get my business a lot because I fly out at 5 a.m. and I don't want to drive at 2 a.m. So,
Right, guys, I'm gonna go
thanks,
vote.
everybody.
All right, thank you.
Bye.